In 1936, a pair of plastic sunglasses solved a military crisis and sparked a fashion revolution. These unamusing shades would go on to grace the faces of presidents, movie stars, and rebels without a cause. From World War II's cockpits to Milan's catwalks, one brand has defined cool for over 8 decades. This is the story of Ray-Ban, the company that turned combat gear into a global style icon, only to nearly lose it all before staging an epic comeback. In this video, we'll explore how this brand went from solving a critical problem for US Air Force pilots to becoming a symbol of cool worn by millions around the world. Stay with us until the end, because we'll reveal how a near disaster in the 1990s led to Ray-Ban's most dramatic transformation yet. Our story begins long before the first pair of Ray-Bans ever shaded a pilot's eyes. Let's travel back to 1853 in Rochester, New York. Here, a German immigrant named John Jacob Bosch opened a small business dealing in optical goods. It's a humble start, but Bosch had a vision and a partner. Henry Lomb, another German immigrant, provides a $60 loan to help grow the business. Little did they know, this partnership would lay the foundation for an eyewear empire. By 1863, Bosch and Lomb established the first optical retail shop on Andrews and Water Streets. It was a workshop where they imported and manufactured eyeglasses, microscopes, binoculars, and telescopes. They even ground lenses on site. This hands-on approach to optics would serve them well in the decades to come. As the company grows, so does its ambition. In 1883, Bosch and Lomb diversified into photographic lenses, quickly advancing to include shutters in their products. However, in 1902, they made a breakthrough that would change the optical industry forever. William Bosch, the founder's son, invented a technique to create lenses directly from molten glass. This innovation eliminates the need for the painstaking process of grinding and polishing individual lenses. Production time plummets, raw material use drops, and costs decrease significantly. Fast forward to 1929, US Army Air Corps Colonel John A. McCready approaches Bosch and Lomb with a problem. His pilots are struggling with headaches and altitude sickness caused by the sun's intense glare at high altitudes. Their goggles fog up, obscuring their vision and putting their lives at risk. McCready knows he needs a solution, and he turns to a company known for its expertise in optics, Bosch and Lomb. John Jacob Bosch and Henry Lomb had already made a name for themselves in the world of eyewear and optical instruments, but McCready's request would lead them to create something entirely new. For the next 7 years, Bosch and Lomb worked on developing a perfect pair of aviator sunglasses. Their goal was to create lenses that could cut glare without compromising vision. In 1936, they succeeded. The result was a prototype known as Anti-Glare, a pair of sunglasses with plastic frames and green lenses that could protect pilots' eyes while allowing them to see clearly. The following year, in 1937, Bosch and Lomb refined the design, replacing the plastic frames with a lightweight metal frame. They also made a crucial decision to rename their creation. Anti-Glare didn't quite capture the essence of what these glasses could do. Instead, they chose a name that spoke to their ability to block harmful rays: Ray-Ban. The Ray-Ban Aviator was born, and with it, a legacy that would span decades and transcend its military origins. As World War II loomed, Ray-Ban Aviators quickly became a standard issue for US military pilots. The teardrop shape of the lenses was designed to cover the entire field of vision, providing maximum protection from the sun's rays at any angle. The green lenses, made with Bosch and Lomb's special Calichrome glass, helped to sharpen details and minimize haze, making them ideal for pilots navigating through various weather conditions. But it wasn't long before the appeal of Ray-Ban Aviators extended beyond the military. In the post-war era, as soldiers returned home, they brought their aviators with them. The sunglasses that had protected their eyes in combat now shielded them from the sun on American streets. The public, eager to emulate the heroic image of the military pilot, began to adopt the style. Ray-Ban was quick to capitalize on this trend. In 1938, they introduced the Ray-Ban Shooter, designed with the needs of professional marksmen in mind. This model featured a distinctive cigarette circle in the center of the frame, allowing the wearer to hold a cigarette while keeping both hands free from shooting. The shooter came with a choice of green or yellow lenses, with the yellow Calichrome lenses. The following year, 1939, saw the launch of the Ray-Ban Outdoorsman. Initially marketed as skeet glass, this model was aimed at hunters and fishing enthusiasts. It featured the same teardrop shape as the Aviator, but added a bar across the top of the frame and temple end pieces, which could be covered in leather or nacre for added sophistication. As the 1940s dawned, Ray-Ban continued to innovate. They developed gradient mirror lenses, which were darker at the top to block overhead sunlight but lighter at the bottom, allowing pilots to easily see their instrument panels. This technology would later find its way into civilian models, offering both style and functionality to the everyday wearer. The war years saw Ray-Ban's reputation soar. The image of the daring pilot, eyes shielded by sleek aviators, captured the public imagination. When photographs of General Douglas MacArthur landing on a beach in the Philippines during World War II was published, showing him wearing his Ray-Ban aviators, it cemented the brand's association with heroism and adventure. By the time the 1950s rolled around, Ray-Ban was poised for a major leap. No longer just military gear, their sunglasses were about to become a cultural phenomenon. The stage was set for Ray-Ban to transform from a practical solution to a fashion statement, a journey that would see them adorn the faces of celebrities, grace the silver screen, and become an enduring symbol of cool. In 1952, Ray-Ban introduced a model that would become synonymous with rebellion and cool, the Wayfarer. With its distinctive trapezoidal frame, the Wayfarer was a radical departure from the metal frames that had dominated the market. The design was revolutionary, utilizing a newly developed molding technology for plastic frames. The Wayfarer's big break came in 1955 when James Dean wore them in the classic film Rebel Without a Cause. In 1961, Audrey Hepburn donned a pair of Wayfarers in Breakfast at Tiffany's, proving that these sunglasses could be just as chic on a woman as they were rebellious on a man. In 1953, Ray-Ban introduced the Ray-Ban Signet, which featured gold or silver frames with horizontal bands across the bridge and temples. In 1957, Ray-Ban launched another variation on the aviator theme, the Caravan. With a more squared-off lens shape, the Caravan offered a slightly more conservative look that appealed to a different demographic. Throughout the 1960s, Ray-Ban continued to innovate and expand its product line. One of this era's most significant technological developments was the introduction of the G15 lens in 1965. This neutral grey-green lens transmitted just 15% of incoming light, providing excellent clarity and color contrast while effectively blocking glare. In 1968, Ray-Ban introduced the Ballerama model, which would gain fame when worn by Clint Eastwood in the 1973 film Dirty Harry. However, it was in the 1980s that Ray-Ban truly became ubiquitous in popular culture. In 1980, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi wore Wayfarers in The Blues Brothers, bringing this style to a new generation. In 1983's Risky Business, Cruise famously danced in his underwear wearing a pair of Wayfarers. Cruise wasn't done boosting Ray-Ban's profile. In 1986, he starred in Top Gun, sporting a pair of Ray-Ban aviators. Ray-Ban's prominence in cinema during this period was no accident. In 1982, the company signed a $50,000 a year deal to place Ray-Bans in movies and TV shows. Musicians like Michael Jackson, Queen's Freddie Mercury, and U2's Bono all sported Ray-Bans. In 1983, they introduced the Wings sunglasses, a sleek, shield-like design that covered the entire eye area with a single lens. In 1986, Ray-Ban revisited its military roots with a General, a design inspired by the aviators worn by General Douglas MacArthur. By the end of the 1980s, Ray-Ban was at the height of its powers. Little did anyone know that the brand was about to face its greatest challenge yet, a crisis that would threaten to undo decades of success and require a complete reinvention of the Ray-Ban brand. One of the main issues Ray-Ban faced was the rise of smaller, more niche eyewear brands. Ray-Ban, with its established styles and reputation, suddenly seemed old-fashioned to some. Another problem was the flood of cheap knockoffs entering the market. Furthermore, there were reports of declining quality in Ray-Ban frames. Whether these were true or simply a result of increased scrutiny, they damaged the brand's reputation for craftsmanship and durability. In 1999, a seismic shift occurred in the world of eyewear. Italian eyewear giant Luxottica Group acquired Bausch & Lomb's eyewear division, including the Ray-Ban brand, for a reported $640 million. What was needed was a comprehensive strategy to revitalize Ray-Ban and reposition it for the 21st century. The first order of business was to address the quality issues that had plagued Ray-Ban in recent years. They moved production of Ray-Ban sunglasses to Italy, leveraging their expertise in craftsmanship and quality control. Next came a dramatic shift in pricing and distribution strategy. They raised prices significantly, repositioning Ray-Ban as a premium brand once again. Simultaneously, Luxottica launched a series of new Ray-Ban designs, blending classic elements with contemporary aesthetics. In 2003, Ray-Ban launched its Never Hide campaign. This bold marketing initiative encouraged wearers to be true to themselves and stand out from the crowd. In 2006, Ray-Ban introduced its Tech collection, featuring high-performance polarized lenses made from advanced materials like carbon fiber and titanium. Once again, Ray-Ban sunglasses were must-have accessories, adorning the faces of celebrities and style-conscious individuals around the world. In 2013, the brand launched Ray-Ban Remix, an online customization platform that allowed customers to personalize their sunglasses. Ray-Ban Remix was a resounding success. By 2019, it accounted for 40% of the brand's online revenue, offering over 250,000 possible combinations of frames, materials, and lenses. In 2014, Ray-Ban introduced its first optical glasses collection, bringing its iconic designs to prescription eyewear. This move opened up a whole new market for the brand, allowing Ray-Ban enthusiasts to wear their favorite styles all day, every day. Ray-Ban has also embraced sustainability in recent years. In 2020, the brand launched its first sustainable eyewear collection, featuring frames made from bioacetate, a material derived from renewable sources. Ray-Ban's influence extends far beyond sunglasses. In the fiscal year 2023, EssilorLuxottica, Ray-Ban's parent company, reported impressive growth. Their revenue increased by 3.7% to a staggering $27.2 billion. Ray-Ban's online presence is stronger than ever, with Rayban.com alone generating $319.7 million in online revenue in 2023. These numbers tell us something important. Ray-Ban isn't just a brand with a rich history, it's a brand with a bright future. In an era where many legacy brands struggle to stay relevant, Ray-Ban continues to thrive, driven by steady demand and strategic investments. If you're enjoying this deep dive into brand histories, you might want to take a look at our other videos related to iconic brands' history. Speaking of iconic brands that have shaped culture, if you enjoy this deep dive into Ray-Ban's history, you might also be interested in our other videos on the rise and fall of business icons. So, what do you think about Ray-Ban's journey? Do you own a pair of Ray-Bans? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of iconic brands. See you in the next video.